Hey consumers, welcome back to Amateur Consumption. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Mary.
And this week on Cheap versus Expensive Wine, we're going to be looking into Cabernet Sauvignon.
We'll be comparing a bottle of 2 Buck Chuck from Trader Joe's by Charles Shaw to a bottle of Simi from Alexander Valley. So both wines are from California. The alcohol percentages are a little bit different. So for the Simi, that bottle runs around 15 to 20. We found it at Costco, so it's closer to $15 for that one since it was Costco. And the 2 Buck Chuck is obviously the $2.99 from Trader Joe's price point.
So to begin, I'll go ahead and listen to the album of the week, which is Justin Timberlake.
So we're gonna go ahead and put this wine in this glass and this wine in this glass. So now it's my turn for headphones so that I can't hear anything Isaac is saying.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with the stemless glass. Not as opaque as I thought. It's a ruby red color. There's some lines, but nothing drastic. So let's give it a smell. This smells like ripe fruit. This smells like a very young cab. It doesn't smell like there's a lot of time that it's been spent aging. Let's give it a sip. It's not bad. Like I said, I don't taste a lot of age there. It tastes pretty young. It reminds me of like a younger Spanish wine that's like ready to drink right now, versus typically what you see with cabs is a purposeful aging. So it's in the barrels, purposeful aging, and then it has that next level of taste. So now I'm gonna move to this wine. So this wine's a little bit darker in color, more opaque. Lines are a little bit more defined, which typically indicates a higher alcohol content, but they're so close that I don't know if I would see a difference. This one smells a little bit older. It smells like the fruits have kind of sat a little bit, aged. It just doesn't smell as bright and fresh, which I think would be indicative of aging. In the nose, I get a little bit of cinnamon, and again, those kind of like those aged red fruits. So let's give it a sip. This wine tastes a little more refined. It tastes like it has more structure. This wine tastes like it has seen oak, like purposeful. When you drink this wine, the tannins kind of are leaching onto your tongue, whereas when I drink this wine, it more just like washes over. So with that comparison in mind, I'm going to say that the stem glass is the Semi and the stemless glass is the Charles Shaw. And I would give the Semi a 4-cork taste rating and the Charles Shaw a 3-cork taste rating. So now I'll pour for Mary. Just in the pouring, I can see that my guess was probably right, and we'll see if she catches on to the same things that I did.
Okay, so my turn to taste. I'm gonna start with the stem glass. Twirl. So the color is pretty maroon-like, so that darker red, a little bit of purple. I'm not seeing a ton of distinct lines. Give it a smell. Okay, it smells a little cheaper. It smells okay, kind of like ripe cherries. Not a lot of other distinctive tones coming through for me. So give it a taste. It's pretty smooth. There's a little bit of tannin back there. I think I'm gonna go with rating this one 3 corks on taste. I think it's pretty good, but not by any means close to some of the better caps that I've had. So move on to the stemless glass. So I'll give it a swirl. So this one's a little bit darker in color, more purple than this one. And I can see some more distinct lines coming through on this one. Give it a smell. So this one smells a little bit more juicy and jammy than the other one, a little bit more. It still has that ripe fruit smell, but I also feel like I smell some more plum type flavors. And give it a sip. It's very smooth. This one goes down very easy. This one's very good. It definitely has some of those same fruit tones that I mentioned, and the tannin aspect I think is just a little bit smoother. This one has some sharper edges. This one, I would give it 4 corks on the taste. There are still definitely cabs out there that I think are better, but I think this one is a very good example. So with that said, I'm gonna go with the stemless being the Simi and the stemmed glass being the 2-buck chuck. So now we can reveal to each other which wine we poured into which glass.
So which one did you do?
Okay, so I poured this one into this glass and Simi into the stemmed glass.
Okay. And I poured Charles Shaw into the stem glass and Semi into the stemless.
Okay, so that lines up with what I guessed.
Yep, it did for me as well.
Yep.
So let's savor together.
Okay.
All right, so after savoring, Mary and I discussed that our ratings for Charles Shaw out of the 3 corks were ratings as a wine, not as
A
cab. And so after rethinking that, we thought about rating the Charles Shaw as a 2-cork cab.
Instead of a 3. The difference also, drinking them both side by side, intertwined, and after they've sat and opened up a little bit, was much more distinguishable and obvious than I think our initial sips.
Yeah.
Which I think also shows the difference in quality with these 2 wines.
Absolutely.
So for taste, we're going to go with 2 corks for the 2-buck chuck, and then we're going to stick with our 4-cork rating for the Simi, since we both rated it the same.
So when it comes to cost, the 2-buck chuck gets 5 corks automatically for being that under that $5 range, under that $10 range. What about the Simi?
The Simi, as I said, we bought it for $15 at Costco, but I think you can consistently find it for under $20 even in the grocery store.
Yep.
So we're going to go with 4 corks for that.
Yeah. And availability, they're both readily available, and so that's going to get a 5-cork rating.
For both.
Yep.
And then approachability, we're also going to go with 5 corks for both of them. California Cab Sav is very distinguishable. At least in the U.S., it's very well known to be something that people like.
For sure. And so when you average those out, the Simi comes out at a 4.5, and the Charles Shaw comes out at a 4.25.
So the Simi gets a little bit of an edge in this one, and as we said, we think taste-wise, Simi is definitely worth the extra money in this case.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Amateur Consumption's Cheap versus Expensive Wine. Thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Drink more wine.